Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this, which is our first interview covering Pentre Fest 2024. And we're starting with a bang. We've got our headliners here with us today. So, guys, if you just want to introduce yourselves.
Hi there, I'm Aidey, and this is Neil, and we're from Krystlha.
Hello.
Brilliant. So, obviously, we're mega excited to have you. First time we've had anybody play who's played the main stage of Bloodstock. And obviously, you've played a lot of other shows as well. Could you just give us a brief outline on what you've got going on at the moment?
Well, the main thing we've got going on at the moment, after having what seems like a very long period after COVID, getting everything back together, is the new album. So album number 4 is in the cauldron and being stirred very thickly. But yeah, that's the main thing we've got going on right now. We've had a few lineup changes over the last few months. So it's been a bit of a slow process getting everybody like baked in properly and up to speed, so to speak. But we've had a few gigs just to like bed everybody in. But yeah, now the fourth album is pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, five years, won't it be when it gets released? 5 years since the last one when it was released.
Yeah,
well, that is something I was going to bring up because, like, with your first 3 albums, it was only a couple of years between each one, so it was like, straight in, album tour sort of thing, like the big bands do. So obviously with this long stretch, has that altered the dynamics of the band or anything?
There's several reasons why it's taken so long. First and foremost, COVID happened, and it ate all the band's money. So we had to go out and earn some more money before we could enter into the process of recording. And also during COVID, everybody's lives changed during the band, and a couple of the guys decided that they couldn't do it. Not immediately after COVID, but so we got new people in. Also, Liam learnt some fancy new drumming tricks whilst he was in lockdown. So what it's allowed us to do is to become an even more nasty and brutal beast than we've ever been before, and that will be reflected in the new album.
Brilliant. So your new members then, what have they brought to the table? Who are they, and what have they brought to the table?
Oh, they're not important, doesn't matter. No, we've got Mr. Jake Coles on the bass, that we've known for quite a few years actually, and he's played in quite a lot of local bands, but he was also in a band called Merciless Terror years back, and they tour around Europe and stuff. So he's he's reasonably seasoned, bless him. And then we've got Mr. Tom Kelland on the co-lead guitar.
He originally was on the bass, wasn't
he filled in for bass originally, after Carl left and stuff. But again, we've known Tom for years because he was in From Eden to Exile, which is our drummer Liam's old band. So we've got him on the 6th string now, and they've brought up a different dynamic. Their playing ability is really good, so it's enabled a few extra things, a few extra strings to the bow, so to speak.
Absolutely. I mean, Tom's a lead guitar player, unlike our old guitarist who was strictly rhythm, and so that's allowed us to be able to drift into more dual guitar.
Gives me a break.
Yeah.
Wicked.
So there'll be some sort of harmonies and things going on in different places.
Now you see, I'm just thinking Iron Maiden now. You said guitar harmonies.
You get that? I mean, there's obviously a Genesis in there at some point, yeah. But you would think of Iron Maiden though, wouldn't you, mate?
Of course I would. Of course I would. So, I mean, obviously, with the gap for COVID and the years and stuff like that, I recently saw you. I say recently, it was last year, at Armageddon, which was a fantastic show. And trying to think back to the previous time when I saw you, which was probably Badger Fest and stuff like that, and it just seems as though the dynamics of the band, to me, you just carried on. You just, both of them fantastic shows where you've gone there, you've headlined a set, and you've leveled the building. to me, obviously
Because
it's
we're
so
away.
seamless, but obviously it's a bit different from your point of view. So, is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, not really. I mean, we've been pretty lucky because the people that left were very talented musicians, but the people we've got in are as equally talented. So we've been pretty lucky, and we sort of run a tight ship, and we practice twice a week. We aim to maintain a professional package. So we will always try to put on the best show possible. So in terms of our attitude and the way we go forward with things when we play live, not much has changed in actual fact. The personnel have changed, but the attitude and the drive is exactly the same.
Yeah, we set ourselves a precedent, and we just don't ever go below that. Yeah. So that's just how it is.
We've always tried to be, because we've been involved in the music game for many years. Discipline helps to you form relationships with promoters and people like that, and when they see that you're behaving and acting in a professional manner, they're more likely to get you to come back and do things. So that's how we work. So we try to be as accommodating and as professional as we possibly can be at all points. But then afterwards we get shit-faced.
Well, I remember. So, obviously, I mean, looking back at some of the highlights of your shows and stuff like that, I mean, the Bloodstock set, that's got a rank up there. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it came about and stuff?
Ooh. Well, the Bloodstock thing was it's really interesting actually, because you kind of imagine playing a show like that. Obviously, it's absolutely fucking amazing, but it comes and it goes so quickly. It almost doesn't register in a way for the weeks and the months leading up to it. Literally every morning you wake up and you're like, yes, can't wait for this. It's going to be fucking amazing. And you go there and you're excited. Everything's awesome. And no sooner are you literally unloading your stuff and wheeling it on the stage and doing the thing, that you're turning around and going, thanks a lot, guys. And you're off. And it's such a fast, surreal sort of experience, because it's something that you want to do and you've thought about all your life doing those kind of things and those sorts of shows. When they come and go, it's so fast, it almost doesn't register in a way. It's when people say, oh, that must have been a wicked show to have done. I'm like, it is, and it was, but I can't remember.
We just know that we had a really excellent time.
We just know we did it and it was awesome and it was cool. But yeah, it's such an odd, surreal sort of experience. Shows like that, because you're looking forward to them so much, you almost don't take it in a way. And you're loading your stuff out afterwards off the ramp and things, looking at each other going, yeah. And then you're like, oh, it's done.
It's almost as if you didn't do it.
Yeah, it really is. It's quite surreal.
You want to go on to the next big one, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Which was a bit of a shame, because after that we did a couple of the O2s, and then COVID hit. So it kind of like chopped us off at the knees, if you see.
We had about fucking 20 gigs cancelled like immediately.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were
whole
sort of
tour for that album.
It really did chop us off. But I mean, like Bloodstock was an amazing place to play. I mean, to play on that stage where so many of our favorite acts have played. I mean, we played on the same stage as on the same day as Anthrax, and like, I've been listening to Anthrax since I was a teenager, so it's like it's surreal.
90 years ago.
Yeah, 90 years. Get off, people now. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I think it does rank up there as well. It certainly ranks up there as my most my biggest gig. A lot, but there are others. There have been some amazing ones. I mean, we were lucky enough to play with Obituary in Milan, and Obituary are a massive influence on us. So
yeah, that's a good show.
We would rank that up there as well as doing 2 weeks across the Balkans with Decapitated. You know, we played in a lot of different countries with this band, and it's been a learning experience the whole time. And we want to try and get back to that point if we can, get back out in, visit other places. It's bucket list stuff, really.
Yeah.
You can look back at it when you're finished and go, yeah, well, I did this and I've done that. But at the time, it's just like It's just a stage. You climb on the stage, you do the songs that you've played 1,000 times, and you just try and do it as good as you can. You know, it's a professional thing, if you know what I mean. Even though we're not a professional band, we take it as a professional thing, if you see what I mean.
I get that, because obviously a lot of bands, they come through us. They're not. A lot of them, it's costing them money to play and things like that. But you do see the difference between people that take it seriously, people that take it as a hobby, and people that don't give a shit. You know, and you do see the difference. Obviously, you know, you sit in the category that do take it seriously. You know, you are. I mean, regardless, I know the professionalism is about being paid and stuff like that, but it's, to me, and what we have going through, it's more about an attitude. And
that's more. Yeah, that's what we're on about. I mean, it's not going to ever be something that. I mean, we try to make what we do pay for itself, if you see what I mean. But we don't ever expect to make a profit out of it. But we do want to be and come across as professional as possible. So the attitude is where I mean it, really. You know, that's what we want to do. We want to come across as if we were, you know, a huge band in an arena sort of situation, because that's what we want to do. You know, we want to play to as many people as we possibly can, and go to as many places and experience as many things as we possibly can through the music.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, actually, from a promoter's point of view. With a festival where we've got some really young bands that are going to be playing before you, have you got any advice that you'd give to them to try and step up to that next level, and what do they need to do that? Because you guys got the experience.
Use a click track. We're not joking.
My biggest piece of advice, in terms of being a musician and like a producer, like working in recording studios and things, and this is super important for all young bands, and no one pays any attention to it, but I think it's the most important thing ever, is write and play within your means. Exactly. I see so many young bands trying to play stuff, and obviously you kind of rip off your influences a little bit here and there, obviously. But if you're trying to play music that's really brutal and it's fast and intense or technical or whatever, you genuinely need to have a proper head-to-head and go, right, can we actually play this very well? Do we do what we're doing justice, or is it a fucking noise? Are we bad at what we do because we're trying to play stuff that's too complicated or too fast, or we're not good enough players yet?
You play within yourself.
Yeah, and I think so many bands want to emulate the sort of bands they listen to, which is great. You know, strive, you know, aim for the stars and all that crap. But if you can't play it well, whatever you do at rehearsal, you kind of ignore those little mistakes at rehearsal. It's like, no one heard that. Or maybe you didn't even hear it yourself. But however badly you play at rehearsal, you do that live, but 10 times louder. And everyone can hear it. And if it's a shambles, you just, even though your compositions may be great, if it doesn't sound good, no one's going to think it's any good because it sounds bad.
It's even worse when it comes into a recording situation.
Yeah, you can't hide from what the mic is telling you, basically. So as a young band, it's cool to want to do fast things and sweeping and blast beats and all the clever stuff, you know, all that sort of shit. But if you don't do it well, don't do it. Practice until you can do it, then put it in the songs. Otherwise, you just end up with sections that just sound like dog shit. So
you're better off just dialing it back a little bit, and making sure that the song is the main part of the deal, not how flash you are, if you see what I mean.
That's the important thing. What we were talking about earlier on when we were saying about like the whole thing of the band hasn't changed, even though we had lineup members and everything's still the same. It's probably, if I'm honest, probably 80% the fact that the songs are good. As long as somebody can play the songs are always going to be the same. And as long as the songs are represented well, obviously it's good to have the right members in the band, but the songs speak for themselves in a situation. Like if you've got good tracks and people play them well, they're always going to sound good. If you know what I mean. So that's kind of how I do that. Because you can have some great players playing shit songs and it's still not good.
That's brilliant, because, you know, we have asked this question to other people before and stuff like that. And a lot of them, they just write it off and just give us it. But to be honest, that's probably the best answer anyone's ever given us, that type of question.
Be prepared, absolutely 100% be prepared. Yeah. It's really, it's the boring, hard graph things that make the difference. It's, you know, I mean, you can go on stage and you can jump about and you can put on a performance, but if it if the substance isn't there, then you're going to fall down in the end.
All that good songs, all that good songs always.
Yeah, even if it is nasty and brutal.
To be honest, I mean, I watch some bands and things like that, and you can see where some bands have worked on it and stuff like that. And I think the best compliment I can give to you, Aidey, as a frontman, is that it looks effortless when you do it. And because I mean, obviously that's going to be for the practices you put in and things like that. But it does when you look at somebody like yourselves on stage, you sit and you see the way you're putting it on. You look so natural at it, and obviously that's going to.
I think that's got an awful lot to do with time served. To be fair,
and
not only that, I think anybody who goes onto a stage climbs into a persona, if you see what I mean. So when I'm off stage, I'm not like that. But when you jump the stage, that kicks in, and and nobody wants to see boring Aidey who goes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I mean, they want to see
wandering around in the marshes.
Yeah,
they want
to see. They want to see.
I'll say this.
Yeah, they want to see
when you
aliens from outer space.
When you headline at Beam Again, the last thing I would have thought of is that the following day, me and you'd be sitting there having a cup of tea, talking about cricket.
There you go. So you've just ruined my rock and roll persona. Thanks. How's that?
Yeah.
Any chance we can get a sneak preview of what you're recording tonight?
Of course you can.
No.
There you go.
So to let you know, when we do play Pentre Fest, we'll be playing 2 of the tracks that come from the new album as well. The new album's called The River, by the way, and it'll be out at the end of May, hopefully, fingers crossed. So if anybody's watching this, get your ears ready for it, because it's going to melt them.
Right. So what is there anything new we can expect apart from the guitar harmonies? We can expect from your album anything different? You're going to do a ballad or something like that?
So fuck ton faster and heavier. That's what we're going to say.
Yeah, it's more brutal than anything we've ever done. And I know every band says that, but this is genuine.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, it really is genuinely more nasty.
So we've got 2 new tracks you're going to play for us. Anything else you'd like to add that we're gonna get this show?
Yeah, if you don't bang your heads, I'm going to come out and rip them off.
Yeah, if you head over to KRYSTHLA.co.uk, you can check out some music on there, all the videos and that sort of stuff, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook and all that shenanigans. Even though I hate it all. I hate it all.
We're also on Spotify and all, everywhere you could go, YouTube. Come and check us out on all of those sorts of places.
Yeah, but the meat and potatoes is in the live shows. Like, screw the internet and go to fucking live shows, fucking losers. Pisses me off.
Don't fucking video us. You're too busy moshing.
Yeah, put your phones away.
The video you're about to watch is Zero Sum Game from our last album, Worldwide Negative. Enjoy.
Poison you.